Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about using Feng Shui in the west side of your home, which is about creativity and joy. So if you're multi-creative or you don't think there's a bone in your body anymore for that creativity, wherever you are on that spectrum, we're going to talk about how to spark that joy and creativity in the west side of your home. That energy then can flow into all the other spaces of your home and interior design. Hello, my name's Erica Meyer, and I'm an architect and a Feng Shui enthusiast. And I love how Feng Shui adds this extra layer of intention to interior design so we can manifest our dreams and desires and live a full spectrum life. In this video, we're going to talk about the west side of your home and why creativity lives there in the classic compass. And then we're going to talk about objects and patterns and colors and full-blown interior design that you can use in the west side of your home. At Feng Shui's most basic level, it's mapping out the energy in your home. And the number one energy in all of our homes since the beginning of time is the sun. And think about it, like how the sun hits different rooms in your house and how that makes you feel, how it changes the vibe of the room, how the frequency changes. And sometimes that frequency feels off. And that is why Feng Shui is trying to help correct that energy, move that energy, change that energy so it's in better alignment. And better alignment helps you manifest what you want. Creativity. It's not high on the list of health and wealth and romance and love. All of those things are much higher. Creativity kind of gets by the wayside. And creativity in this TED Talk talks about how important it is in our stressful lives today that we find some creative outlet, whatever it is, making YouTube videos, making dinner, making whatever brings joy into your heart. That good energy then radiates out to everybody else. So in the traditional Feng Shui, on that west side is where the sun is setting. So it's been in shadow for most of the day. And once that sun finally hits at the end of the day, after you've done whatever you do all day long, it is that place to relieve stress, to be in charge of something creative in your life. It's just time to be creative. Have a little fun. Bring joy into your life. The Feng Shui compass also works on seasons because, of course, the energy of the sun is changing by seasons as well. And so the west relates to autumn, and fall season is transitioning from the bright, direct, vibrant energy, the go-go energy of summer, into the quiet, darker energy of winter. And it's that transition time. It's the time to prepare. It's time to get out those creative projects so you can do them in the darker winter nights. And that researcher, she talks about another 20 minutes to dedicate not only to your exercise and meditation and work and all the other things, now 20 minutes of creativity, which I do agree with, but it's too structured for creativity. Creativity should be spontaneous. Here's where interior design can remind you, that spark of creativity and work for you when you're not able to dedicate that 20 minutes. This is where gray works perfect because it is a clean slate for you to be creative. My bathroom here is on the west side of our home, and that's the only window on the whole west side of our house. And when I added this is a Feng Shui object that Feng Shui consultants will direct you where the most auspicious place to put it is. But for me, the best place is up in that window. When the late day sun hits that window and hits this crystal, it is glorious. And I'm not always passing through this room, using this room at that time. But when that aligns, it brings joy to my heart. And that is what creativity is relieving stress and bringing joy to your life. Let's go to my office and talk about objects, patterns, colors, and show you some beautiful rooms that you can use in your own home for inspiration. Because no matter what room is on the west side, it can glow with this creative energy. In Feng Shui, there are 5 elemental energies, and they're metaphors for how that energy is vibrating, how it's behaving, how it shows up in our lives. Metal energy is discerning and decisive and exact. And I was struggling with how do we connect this discernment to creativity? But you need to make a decision in order to create. Just create something. Just do something. Be decisive and get to it. The other interesting thing about this Western elemental energy, it sits between the darker metal energy of the Northwest and the more vibrant, earthy, end of the day, warm energy of the Southwest. It's playing this middle ground, so it's got that playful creativity in it. We can use the patterns of circles, which you can interpret to be getting to the point, or you're poking holes. So much of our creative expression is poking holes in what is supposed to be this way or that way, having fun and joy with it, relieving stress. Light gray and white is the basic color palette, but then I personally like to infuse the colors of the sunset. I think we need to have those sparks of joy and creativity. And then, of course, the metal element itself. Use your silvers, bronzes, gold. Use the whole color palette of metal. Okay, let's start in the bedrooms. If you haven't watched the other bedroom video, go check that one out. In that bedroom video, we talked about having 2 of everything, an equal amount of space on either side of the bed for good Feng Shui, good energy in any bedroom, doesn't matter where. What we're looking for in the western side of our home are grays to play up gray, white, and circles. Here's a nice circle artwork here. Some cute chairs and 2 of them in that bedroom. A little bit more metallic, warm grays in this bedroom. A nice soft palette here. That's interesting white and gray artwork. This is a beautiful ceiling feature in a circle. They're not quite circles, but we've got some metal legs and beautiful variation of grays. Moving into bathrooms next, check out this gorgeous metallic wall right there. Now this is a warm grays. Maybe this is more of a southwest bathroom or maybe even a northeast bathroom with the earthy tones and the horizontals. But here we've got, a nice kind of curved back, giving that circle element in white and gold. Beautiful standalone tub in a shiny metal finish. And then here, a curved bathroom vanity, circle mirror, or that's a mirror in a mirror. Ooh. That's not so great, the Feng Shui there. I think that bouncing energy is fun, but it's a lot of energy. Circular fixture here. And then we're going to move into public spaces. But first, I've got these beautiful soft grays and, pastel-y leathers to think about. And, that's a bit of a circular pattern in leather. And then, bam, look at that. Woo! That is creative, energetic, this big white volume that is a blank canvas with it. Ooh, look at that. Here's another piece of circular artwork with a lot of gray and white neutrals, a lot of neutrals, beautiful exposed concrete. And then in this huge volume here, must be a penthouse suite somewhere, beautiful circular artwork. Here's some more joyous artwork of some sort with our circle pattern and a beautiful neutral area. And with this piece here, we have strong gray and white scheme, circular table, and beautiful energetic piece of artwork for a living room space, which is energetically appropriate for something like that. And here we have some more artwork and mirrors that are giving us that circle pattern and the patterns in here, the circular shape. I love this golden tapestry and the gold and gray and white. What a beautiful color palette. Again, we have a warmer yellow and gray kind of combination here. Artwork for a conversation piece. And then in the kitchen, a couple circular elements, little pops of red, which are great in a kitchen. And this may be somewhere where we would want to add just a little bit more joy in artwork, maybe more joy like this. This is how you can add the circular pattern into a carpet, a little bit of decor items, and these might be circular crystals on that chandelier. This beautiful white trim and a nod to that creative element. Let's do a few kitchens. There's a lot of criticism for all white or black and white kitchens, but on that western side nods to the elemental energy of metal there with the circular. I love these little circular, they're vision panels. They're a little low, so maybe the designer flipped that around. Reminds me of a ship. Oh, and wait till you see this ceiling. Wow, this gold leaf on the ceiling. If this is the western window, and a gorgeous sunset just lights up that ceiling with energy. Okay, in the next video, we're going to go deeper into kitchen design, so subscribe, and I'll see you then.